everyone, I'm Yash and this is a very simple, easy video on how to contour and highlight. I'm going to be showing you my little tips and tricks on how I contour and highlight my face and essentially how I end up looking like this. So if you're interested in watching, continue watching. Okay, so I've already applied my foundation. If you're curious as to what foundation I've applied, I use the Too Faced Born This Way foundation and I'm in the color Mocha or Mocha, whatever you call it. So I'm in the color Mocha. So I've already primed and applied foundation. So essentially I would start highlighting and contouring right after this step. So I haven't applied any powder, it's just purely the foundation. I'm going to kind of talk in depth like how I use the products, what products I'm currently using, and like, you know, little tips and tricks like that I've learned over the past couple of years. So when it comes to highlighting, applying the product really depends on the shape of your face, or essentially what you want to highlight, what you want to bring forward from your face. So for my face, I like to apply a little bit of highlighting product on my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, on my chin, and especially under my eyes to brighten and highlight and to bring forward. When people say highlight, essentially the product that is used for highlighting is a concealer. So the type of concealer that you use is completely up to you, whether it be a cream-based concealer, a liquid concealer, a stick concealer, full coverage, you know, heavy or light coverage or thin. It is completely up to you, your skin type and how it works. The concealer I'm going to be using today is the Tarte Rainforrest of the Sea Aqua Concealer. So that's what it looks like here. So yeah, this concealer is, like the name says, an aqua concealer. It's very water-based, but the coverage is quite high. I like it because it feels really nice and light underneath my eyes, and especially during summertime, it doesn't feel thick and gross. But it was nice to have a really light water-based concealer underneath my eyes that still did the job. So I'm going to start highlighting my face. Like I said, highlighting really depends where you want to put it or the shape of your face, where you want to bring light out. But I'm going to show you where I like to highlight my face. So I'm going to start off underneath my eyes. I like to bring it slightly to the side of my nose here, and then right underneath. And then I repeat it on the other side. Next, I like to take it down on the bridge of my nose. So I bring it just a little line, not too much. And then I like to highlight the chin, a little bit on the upper lip, right there, and then the rest on the forehead. So this is where I mainly highlight on my face. Underneath the eyes, the forehead, the bridge of the nose, a bit on the lip, and on the chin. So I always recommend to blend your product out straight away after applying the highlight onto your face, just because the product can dry out or even make it patchy. How you blend it out also depends on what you like. You can blend out your product using a brush or a beauty blender or a silly sponge or anything really that you like. I prefer a beauty blender just because it kind of absorbs the excess and it blends out to a flawless finish. So I'm going to start blending and you'll see how well it looks. So I'm going to start blending. So I like to blend really close underneath to the eye and then kind of bring it out. Having a pointed beauty blender like this makes it really easy to get into the corners of the eye. And then I like to take the excess and then just to put it over the eyelid and in the eye crevice as well. And just by looking at that, I have created a beautiful base and it's completely highlighted underneath my skin and just brightened it and made me look way more awake. So I'm going to do the other eye now. So making sure you blend right underneath, so if you have any fine lines, all that product is blended away. So under the eyes are done. I'm going to just finish off the rest of my face. So the chin, I just blend as well, and upper lip. and then the bridge of my nose, and then the forehead. So that's me all highlighted. So immediately after highlighting, you have to set the product. Even if the concealer that you've used, like the Aqua Concealer from Tarte, even though if the concealer is light and lightweight, you still have to set it because it prevents the concealer from creasing or seeping into your fine lines or fading or melting away. So a setting powder that I really have been liking is the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. This is an amazing setting powder. So another setting powder that I use is the banana powder from Morphe. When it comes to applying powders on your face, if you are a bit darker in skin tone than me, I would recommend you to use a banana powder or a tinted powder. Don't try using a translucent powder just because it might leave a grey cast or a shadow white cast in the parts that you've applied highlighter. So I've had pretty bad experiences with that. It leaves it really white and it doesn't look pleasant on the face at all. So when it comes to buying a translucent powder, do a bit of research, see which ones are really great into setting makeup and lasting for a really long time, but that also suit your face. Not all powders suit your face. Even though it's translucent and you think, oh, you know, it's universal, it should work for me, it might not. But I know Laura Mercier makes this exact powder but with tinted color in it. Try one of those if you know that the Laura Mercier translucent powder doesn't look 100% on you. So when it comes to setting my powder, this really depends on the product you like to use. Once again, you can use a brush or a beauty blender. I like to use a beauty blender once again. So what I do is I get the beauty blender, the same one that I blended my eyes with. I open my powder and then I just dip it in so it looks like that. And then I just pat it underneath my eyes. Don't swipe, pat it underneath. Making sure you get into those fine lines underneath your eyes. Just like that. You can add a lot more, just really depends on how you feel, but I feel like just adding this little amount here is perfectly enough just to set it. So we're going to do the same thing underneath the other eye. And then we're going to do the rest of the face. So obviously you're not done here. Usually in this time, while I let the powder set underneath my eyes and do its work and bake, I usually do my eyebrows and like my eye look, so whether I put eyeshadows or mascara, and then I go into contouring. This also really depends on how you feel, how you want to do things, but this is just what I do. Okay, so I've come back. I've just applied some eyeshadow mascara. So usually when I allow my powder to set and bake, I do my eyebrows, I do my eyeshadow, I do mascara, so I give it some time to do its job. So yeah, I've done a little bit of makeup here. So now the next step, usually when I do my highlighting and contouring, is to dust off the excess powder. So a great thing about having excess powder here is that if you do have a bit of fallout from your shadows, it will just drop on this extra powdered layer and it won't stain all your hard work from your foundation and your highlighting, because it'll just come off with the powder. So when it comes to dusting off powder, I like to use like a flat top kabuki, just because I feel like it grabs everything and just kind of sweeps it away. So yeah, when you remove the product, just do 1 or 2 motions of just swooping it underneath the eye. So I usually do this and just dust it off. And dust it off again. Do my chin, the nose and the forehead. And I'll do the other eye. So highlighting for me is all done, and as you can tell, my face is super highlighted, super bright, awake, and it's all set. Like, I do have fine lines underneath my eyes, but it hasn't seeped in or anything like that. As you can tell, it's just sitting beautifully, and all the highlighting has been set with a powder as well. So all done, easy. So the next step in the highlighting and contouring routine is contouring. So contouring is an amazing step. So what highlighting does is to bring out things that you want to, you know, bring out from your face, and then contouring is to kind of bring down or like to carve in certain places in your face. So when it comes to contouring my face, I use two types of products, a cream contour product and a powder contour product. You can just use one or you can use both. I use both most of the times. If I'm, you know, in a rush, I'll use one. In my everyday makeup routine, I like to use just powder, but when it's like a full glam routine, I like to use both the cream and the powder. So the product that I'm going to be using to contour is a cream product, and it's from Fenty Beauty, and it's the Matchstick in Espresso. So I think this is the darkest color in her line. So this is what it looks like. It's a cream product. I really like this one. It's really easy. All you do is just kind of draw it on, blend it out, and you're done. So I'm going to show you how I do this. So with this, I like to have the product with me, and then I like to blend it out with a brush. You can also blend it out with a beauty blender, up to you, but with this, I like to blend it out with a brush. So I'm going to show you where I exactly apply my contour product. This also really depends on your face shape and what you want to kind of carve in or like contour. I like to contour the sides of my cheeks just because I feel like I have a round face and I need a bit of dimension here. So I like to contour the sides of my cheekbones, down my nose just to sharpen it a little bit, underneath my underneath my lower lip. I feel like if I contour a little bit there, my lower lip kind of pouts out a bit more and looks a little bit bigger. I like to contour a little bit on my jawline just to sharpen it up a bit, and then just a little bit on the forehead. I have a tiny forehead, so if I were to contour a lot, it would look super tiny. So I just like to contour a little bit just to give it a bit of color. Yeah, I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. So when it comes to contouring your cheekbones, it kind of depends how your face sits. It's pretty hard to explain over camera, but for me, it kind of sits right there. So you just have to kind of look at your face and figure out the structure of your face. If you put it too low, just do a fake imaginary line. And if I were to put it here, the contour would come down here, and that would just look ridiculous. If I were to put it up here, the contour would be too high. So I like to go halfway and just kind of bring it in the middle right there. So with this, a little goes a long way. So I like to put a small amount. So just put a small amount like that, just because when I blend it out, a lot of the product will blend down towards you. So just a little bit like that. And then the other side, so this is the hardest bit, trying to even it out, but if you figure out the spot, then you'll never go wrong. An easy tip is looking in a mirror and just kind of replicating the other side. I'm going to do a little bit under the lip. Just a little bit like that. And then a couple of dots on my forehead. When it comes to the nose, it's a bit daunting to put this big chubby product on your nose just because it can ruin the nose contour. So I do go in with a little brush. I like to use one of these kind of brushes here. So take a little bit of product on the brush, and then I do a very faint line. My contour on my nose isn't so intense just because it's my preference. I don't like it really intense, but just a faint line. And as you can see, it's kind of sharpened up my nose. Then I'm going to go around here as well. So that's it when it comes to applying the contour. Now it is the blending. So I like to use an angle shaped brush for all my blending when it comes to contour. So I'm going to start off with this side of my face. So you like to bring it down. So you can swipe up and down, but down. You can also do a bit of a circular motion. It's really up to you. When you see me blend, I'll do a couple of motions, but most of the time it is down. I kind of sometimes like to push it up as well. And then I like to do a bit of a circular motion. And then bring the excess down a bit lower on the cheek. So if you feel like you've gone a bit too high, just use a beauty blender or a bit of product on the beauty blender and just kind of blend it out. So that's one side of the face. So you can tell it's created a shadow and it's just kind of slimmed down the face a little. So love contour, it really saves my life. And I'm going to do the other side now. Now I'm going to blend my lower lip. Kind of go right around the whole lip. And by applying that, creating that shadow, it looks like my lower lip is protruding out a lot more, and I really, really like that. And just kind of blend it out a little. And then I'm going to do my forehead. And now the side of my nose. So I like to use this brush even though it's big, and then I just kind of squeeze it so it thins out. Or I like to use my Zoeva face paint. It's like a contour brush. Actually, I might use this because it is very thin, it's tapered, and it kind of fits the nose perfectly. So I'm just gonna go up and down on that. Done. So that's all the blending. So you can stop here, but I personally like to set the cream base just so it's 100% set and done. I haven't noticed any movement with the Fenty Beauty matchstick, but I do like to set it in. It's just a step that I've always done, especially for full glam makeup. So I really, really like to use Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit in Espresso as well. This one's called Espresso. This one has seen a lot of love. I've hit pan. It's about to like crumble and break. But I just take a little bit of product, not too much, and just kind of just set it. I don't go over it too much just because the Fenty Beauty one already has a lot of color. And then I like to powder the jawline. So that's it when it comes to highlighting and contouring. That's my little technique and method. Yeah, so I just highlight first and then I contour second. This is what it looks like. I'm just going to finish off the rest of my makeup and yeah, I'll be back. So that is my final highlighting and contouring routine. I just finished off my makeup. I put a bit of lipstick on. But yeah, that's how I highlight and contour. This is the finished look. And yeah, I hope you liked it. Hopefully it was informative, that you picked up, you know, a little bit of information from this. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me any questions down below if you felt like you were a bit confused or you wanted a little bit more information on how I did something or what products I use, anything like that. Anyway, so thank you so much for watching. If this is the first time you're seeing me, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. But if you're seeing me again, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, I will see you all soon, guys. Bye.